So they got paid every 6 to 8 months to a year and a half a check for $1,200, paid too little and paying too late. They can't be called self-entitled when they're the top percentage. And so it's the highest paid supermodels for a 7-year period, booked with 30 highest paid photographers. They own agencies. And it's a roster of talent for advertising and producers for advertising, but it's also the investor instead of being viral. So without the top percentage being paid, people don't have an investor for a celebrity sales businesses, small business fairs, and all business, because they're the brands in the store. So it's a lingerie brand that's a sponsored lingerie brand, but also a bikini brand with a design team, and it's fashion, like BCBG. And so it's them instead of the brothel, slave trade brands their age, but also 20 years older, silent generation. And so once upon a time, there were these people who founded department stores and who did the right thing, and they paid them the same day. But for the past 10 years, you had to know of a lawyer to get the $80,000 for any $1,200 or $800 job, and they would be paid the $1 million a year. So if they were paid for the 5 jobs a month, they would have the $1 million a year for every division: print, commercial, theatrical, their own brand. When the roster of slave trade and the slave trade brothel replaced in 2007. And so it's something where there would be no family money for anybody if it was viral since the year 2000. But they had this from 2001 till now with the agencies, where they could have $10,000 a year for a 7-year period. And the one who wins for the USA and world can have $5,000 rent the whole time. And a dad who pays for 2 years of rent for $3,000 a month in New York, when people are party promoting and prostituting with the celebrities since the year 2001. From Orange County as slave trade brand employees, with families who don't believe in paying anything because it's not gainfully employed to work minimum wage. So everyone would have the $2,500 instead of being a prostitute assistant to be fed to wild animals from some investor who has real estate, when it's real estate at Airbnbs. So it's not like they have an investor when they're their age and they're a manager or an employee. It's slave trade since the year 2000, working for the stores. Then when they're replaced, 2012, they're replaced by LGBT rights managers, where they don't work there partying with the investors, partying all day and all night with the doctors who give them GHB since the year 2007, but also with the managers and employees. And so it's this element of a small business underneath them. So after 20 years, people survived the little family money, and they were blessed by God because they prayed for them and they're Christian. And other families died because they were penniless since the year 2001 and starved to death. But it's not this small percentage. They worked for all businesses who are not viral, who have customers who are not slave trade employees. So it's like the school blogging, the business blogging, it's the whole economy. So all the wealth owed them the money when they're a slave, and you can't believe in slavery because it's only a direct deposit where they stick to agency rates with an agency contract for 20 years, 10 and 5. So it's something where you'd have to be a Christian to not go into any kind of bathroom where there's no lock on the door and the slave trade brand employees are raping people. Just know that it's Babylon, and they can't be blamed for Babylon. So no one has an investor. No one has a business when they're replaced by a brothel of slave trade employees, city to suburbia, as influencer ambassadors, slave trade brands. But it's free slavery. So the only way people have dollars and the only way people get paid is by them being customers. That's how employees get paid. That's how the businesses get paid. That's how people eat.